Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully set up our UI, right? Now in this video, I want to structure all that project folder, and also I want to create one of the HTTP server. I hope you already know how to create that HTTP server. So let's do that work. For doing this, that is our project. I have already taken it in our JavaScript folder, and that is our total project, right? Here they have some of the images, they have some of the HTML data, and also they have some of the CSS. So now I want to organize everything. If you want to do that work better, I want to create one of the folder. I just name this folder as a data. Okay, better I make it as a data. And also I want to create another folder as a public. Okay, like here I want to create another folder as a public. And then for the main data, I want to create another one as a view all that file. Okay, that means I want to make it as a view. So that is our 3 of this folder. Okay, so here I have created 3 of this folder: data, public, and then view. So into the public area, here I want to create another folder. I want to create another folder as a image. Okay, that will be as a image folder. And also for the CSS, I want to create another folder as a CSS. So first of all, I want to take all that our images. So like there is a 5 images, and also there is one of the SVG. I cut it from to this position. Now in our public, okay, into this public, and the images here I paste it. Okay, so that will be all that our images. Great. And also they have one of the CSS. CSS means there is index CSS. I simply cut this index CSS, and then in our public, and there is our CSS folder here I paste it. Okay, so now that will be organized. And then for into the view area, I want to take both of this file as a bicycle.html and then overview.html. I take both of this from here, and I want to add it into the view folder. Okay, and the data, I want to take it into the data folder. That is all JSON data. Okay, so I simply organize it. Great. So now if you go to our project, you can see it's now display only the 3 file as a data, and then public, and then view. So into this data, there is our data JSON, and then there is a public. Okay, public, they have 2 folder. One is the CSS, another is the images, and that is our view file. Great. Right now we don't need this. I simply remove it. Great. And now I want to create another file. Okay, I want to create another file as a index dot, our main file as index.js. So I make it as a index.js. So that will be our JavaScript file. So now I want to create one of the HTTP connection. Okay, that means HTTP server. If you want to create, then what exactly you have to do? I have already done this type of work. Like I take one of the constant variable. Okay, constant. There is a constant variable. I just name it as a HTTP, and then we have to call our HTTP module, right? If you want to input this, then that will be as a require. So that is our require. That is a require function, and here I want to do with this, I want to add that our module. That means I want to load our module name, that will be as a HTTP, right? Great. And after that I want to take our server. As I told you before, I have already done this type of work. There is I take one of the name as a server. Okay, and then I want to run our HTTP, and with this HTTP there is one of the method as a create server, right? So that will be as a create server, and into this create server here there is one of the listener. Into this listener I want to pass 2 of this parameter. One will be as a request, another will be as a response, right? So there is 2 of this parameter, and then there is our array function. I simply declare. And now I want to do when that will be run into the console log. Okay, into this console log I want to display the same things that I have already done. I make it as a server is now running, okay, running this type of the message, then that will be displayed. Okay, and after that we have to run our server port. That means the server. So that is our server, and then there is our method. One of the method is a listener, right? There is a listener method, and into this listener method we have to allocate our port. Right now I want to allocate that port, that will be as a 3000. Okay, so that is our 3000 port, right friend? I hope every part I have already done. Every part should be very much clear to you. Now I simply click as a save all fast, and now I want to open our terminal. If you go to the view, and then there is our terminal. I simply open this terminal. So now I want to install one of the package as a node mon. So as I told you before, when you run this package, then whatever the things you will be updated in your index.json, then automatically this server will be run. That means in our terminal that will be run, right? Rather than every time we have to run as a node and then index.js. So I don't want to do that work. I want to install one of the package. So if you want to install that package, before I have already discussed about that things with you. First of all, we have to create one of the package JSON, right? If you want to create this package JSON, then that will be as a npm and then init. Okay, npm init, and when you run that as npm init, it will be ask you some of the default questions. So I want to ignore all the default questions. For the reasons here, I make it as a yes. Okay, by default I want to approve every that condition. So after that npm init, and then I make every condition will be as a yes. Then if you click as a enter, now that will be install one of the package. Okay, that means here it will be created one of the package JSON. You can see it's now successfully created this package JSON. So right now we are able to install that our node mon. So if you want to install that node mon, what exactly you have to do? That will be one of the dependency package. So I make it as a npm, and then I or install whatever you choose. I want to use that as a I, and then nodemon. Okay, that is a nodemon, our package name, and then that will be one of the dependency package. For the reasons here, I make it only as a D. Okay, so that is one of the dependency package, because here we don't need to customize anything in here. So now after that, if you click as the enter, now that will be install that nodemon, and also it will be created one of the folder in here as a node module, right? I hope you already remembered that part, because I have already done this type of work before. Now you can see it's now installing. So it may take little time. Okay, you can see it's now created one of the folder as a node module. So that is all that our dependency module, you will get it in here. You can see it's now successfully complete our package. So that means our node module package is now successfully installed. So if you want to check it, as I told you, if you go to that package JSON, and into this package JSON, you can see there is a development dependency, and that is our nodemon version. Okay, that means it's now successfully installed, and also our node module is successfully created. Now I want to create one of the server. You can see I make the server port as a 30,000. That will be as a 3,000. Okay, that is a 3,000. Which is totally fine. And now I want to in our package JSON, into this package JSON, that is one of the script that I have already done it. So that means when you run as a npm run server, then that will be executed our which file. Here we have to allocate that file. I name it as a server. Okay, I name it as a server, and into this server area, first of all, I want to do that will be as a nodemon. Okay, that is our package name, and nodemon. Okay, that is our package name, and after that, our which file that will be executed, our index will be executed, right? So for the reasons here, I make it as an index. Okay, friend, I hope every part you already know about it, because I have already discussed about that things before. So that's all. I simply created that script. Now click as a save all, which is totally fine. And now I want to run our server. Okay, so if you want to run this server, then now what exactly you have to do? We have to run it as a npm, and then that will be our server, right? I want to name it as a npm, and then run, and then server. Okay, so now I simply name it. Sorry, here that is. So now I simply name it as a npm run server. Now if you click as a enter, now our server will be executed. You can see our server is now successfully executed. So right now, whatever the things we will update in here, automatically that will be re-executable, right? So now I want to do here, that is our server, right? So into this server area, there is one of the request, and that is a response. I want to pass one of the response, and then that will we can able to access our this port, right? Right now, if you go, then that will be loading, right? I just make it as a local host as a 3000 port. You can see it's now loading, because of all here I didn't pass any response. Now I want to pass some of the response. Okay, now you can see it's now loading, because here I didn't pass any response. So better I want to do here from to this position and to pass some of the response. I hope you already know about it. So I make it as a response, and then with our AND method, okay, with this AND method area, here I want to pass one of the HTML tag, like as h1 tag. Okay, and I want to close this h1 tag, so that will be h1 tag is closed. Great. And here I want to pass that was a welcome. Okay, welcome to the bicycle shop. So this type of one of the message that will be displayed. Okay, And also I want to do that will be one of the our content type will be as a HTML type, right? You can also pass that as a HTML type. That means that will be as a response, right? That is a response, and then right, that is a right head, right? That will be as a right head. So here you can see that is actually the right head method. So now with this right head method, that will be executed our status code as a 200. I make it as a 200, and after that I want to pass our content type. Okay, so our content, I make it as a contain, and then our content type will be what? That will be as a type, right? So our content type I want to make it as a, that will be as a text type. Okay, text and then HTML. So I simply pass it. So now that should be executed. If you now click as a save all, you can see with this with this package automatically that is now running our server. And now if you go, now you can see it's now successfully run our server, and now it's display as a welcome to the bicycle shop. I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So right now we don't need this. In our next video I will discuss about that query string. Okay, that means here if you want to pass out the query string in your URL, how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.